What's going on, people? Welcome back to the match review as we look ahead to the game against Arsenal on the weekend. Going to be a massive game, not just because of our future, our manager's future, and where the club is heading as well, based on reports. So we'll be discussing that and more in this show. As always, I'm joined by Patrick and T. If you do enjoy the content, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to not miss out on future Palace videos, and let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Let's start off straight away, Patrick, with you. Arsenal away from home. Based on the reports, this could potentially be Vieira's last game. We spoke about it before the Brighton game, but this could be it. But for you, Patrick, also doing very well in the league. We're coming off a better performance than what we've seen recently, based on the chances that's created. Of course, it's still a defeat against Brighton. How are you feeling ahead of this game?
It's been a very rough last few weeks, months. I'm still very much Vieira in. I get people who are upset. I don't know what more he could have done. Let's go over again. The last 3 months have been the fixtures from hell. We've not played one team below us in the table at the time of playing. I told you I'm not even joking. I'm going to actually research it during the break and find out if we ever had a longer stretch of 12 matches playing teams above us. It's been ridiculous. The fact we got points at all to me is amazing against teams like United and Newcastle, Liverpool. But having said that, the Brentford match and the Villa matches we had to win and we didn't, which is why we are where we are now. So just to see what happened. But I'm not looking forward to the game. Listen, I told you, I'm gonna say it again, man. I was done after the Newcastle Cup loss, so this is just making it worse for me. So as soon as this season's over and we stay up, the happy I'll be. So
yeah, look, T, I don't know about you, but for me, frustration going into this game is the word that I want to use. I'm frustrated. I'm frustrated at our situation. There's uncertainty whether we'll have the manager. I mean, there's talks about making a decision after the Arsenal game. So is that the board looking at the Arsenal game as like a must win, which doesn't make any sense? If you're going to sack him, you might as well sack him now. I don't really understand that situation. Why wait for the Arsenal game? It seems like they're not even too sure in themselves, which sums up our football club where it's at this current moment of time. But look, Arsenal is, of course, going to be a difficult game. But going into this game, based on what happened in terms of individual performances, would you make any changes? Because Vieira actually made changes that people wanted. Maybe Jeffrey Schlupp starting. People didn't want that. Likes of Hamada and Eze, which is what people were asking for going into that game. But overall, I thought it was a relatively strong starting 11. Going into the Arsenal game, do you think he should change his approach once again to make sure that he's still in job? Because there's a dilemma here that if he gets absolutely destroyed, which there's a possibility if he goes attacking at Arsenal, it's not going to help his situation any better. So what do you think Vieira should do going into this game?
Well, number one, he's going to have to make a change because Zombie can't play. Yeah. First and foremost. So there's that. So there's definitely going to be some change because of that piece. I think we may see something similar to what we saw when Doucouré came out of the game, except instead of Lukonga, you have Doucouré. So it might be that base of Doucouré and Schlupp with possibly Eze in front of them playing behind the striker. But as far as changes, that's probably the only thing that I would really expect at this point, possibly. But who knows? I mean, I guess it all depends on what Javier feels.
For you, Patrick, Lukonga, he's been very important for us in terms of doing the basics, right? And keeping the ball in midfield and dealing with the ball under pressure, which is what we've desperately needed all season long. And he's been able to do that job. I think it's going to be a miss going into this game. But who do you replace him with? Who comes in for Lukonga in this game? You're facing Arsenal away from home. So for me, I wouldn't replace him with the likes of Eze because that's a bit scary. I don't know if that has a balance, if that will be a balanced midfield. But for you, who comes in for Lukonga?
We need leadership in that midfield. I mean, someone is going to tackle because I made the point that Doucouré does all the tackling even when Lukonga's in there. Not Lukonga's a bad tackler, but he's not. He's more of a blocker than a tackler. So for me, we have three choices. We have Luka, we have Maka, and we have Hughes. Based on how Luka played last match, it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't great. I mean, he was okay. Maka hasn't played but a few minutes since he's coming back from injury. So for me, it's going to have to be Hughes. because he's got the most minutes out of those three in the last, few matches. He's coming off COVID though, because that's gonna affect him. But you gotta put someone who's gonna tackle. I need someone in there to tackle, to battle. And I honestly, the other person's gonna be Schlupp, because if you got to do Schlupp, give him the same game against Man City. Mark Odegaard, just track Odegaard the entire match and see how it works. Because that's what we have to do. You're right. We got to be defensively solid. We're probably not gonna nick a goal. We gotta go for a 0-0 because we need to get a draw. We, the team, Vieira, need a point from this match. So that's what I would try and do.
Like, we need to get something out of this game.
I said my suggestion with the fact that I didn't think that Maka or Hughes would be available. So I mean, if I had them available, I'd probably go for Hughes. Honestly, yeah. I think
it's going to be Schlupp based on what Patrick said about him marking Bernardo Silva in that game, and I thought he done a very good job defensively. Funny enough, it's just getting the ball and running with the ball. That's the problem. In attack, he doesn't contribute as much. Everything else, literally, in his game.
The other basics, right? Passing,
shooting. The other things that a midfielder does,
basically everything, 99% of the other stuff. Yeah, there's situations there, there's problems there, but look, give him credit when it's due. He had a good game against City.
Yeah,
then again,
I agree.
I said don't start him against Brighton, but in this game, I will say I wouldn't be surprised if he does start, and I don't think I'll be too mad if he does, because I think Decore and Schlupp will probably be the two midfielders in this instance. When we missed Decore, it was Lukonga. And no, it's Luca. Sorry, Luca was there as well. But for me, I think it'll be Decore, Schlupp, and then you might see Ahamada. Something different there.
That's a wild card.
Ahamada. You guys haven't mentioned him. Yet. Exactly, he hasn't had the starts, but he's had some good appearances off the bench.
Yeah, he has, man. I mean, and once again, I guess that all depends on how prepared he thinks PV thinks he is for that opportunity. I mean, I wouldn't be upset at all to see him get that start for sure.
And one more thing, Alex Howell, former worked at Palace, he's also writes for worked at the BBC, actually mentioned that before yesterday's game that Vieira was talking about Ahamada, and Alex I saw on Twitter that he thought Ahamada might have actually started against Brighton. He didn't.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so interesting. It's a great point. Maybe Ahamada starts. I hadn't even thought about him. I'm thinking back to the miss that he had against Brighton as kind of messing up my thinking. Yeah. But Ahamada at the shout will actually be a good one for me in place of Lukonga.
My question is does Joe Whitworth start again?
I was literally going to say that.
I think he's definitely starting.
Yeah. So for you guys, I think he's starting because Vicente's out. It doesn't seem like a short-term injury. I don't know what Vieira said exactly, but I listened to him, and when I was listening, I thought it doesn't seem like something that's like a knock that he's going to come back from. He's like, we're not too sure how long he's going to be out for.
I think it's a hamstring or a quad. It's a hamstring or a quad.
Yeah, so I don't think he'll be back for the game. So I think Joe Whitworth will start. But he had a fantastic game. Let's be honest. That's the one positive going into this game. He had a fantastic game against Brighton. That was a high-pressure game. That was a game that tests his character. And he didn't fumble. As the game went on, I grew confidence in him. And he's only 19 years old. So as he plays, he will improve. His distribution will also improve, which I thought was one of the positives yesterday. I know he wasn't like 90%, but it's still relatively close to 80% passing accuracy. For you guys, Whitworth, if Vicente is fit, do you still go with Whitworth? But I don't think Vieira will do that, would he? I'll start with you. Go ahead, Patrick.
No, I think if Guaita's fit, it'll be Guaita. You can't throw the kid in there again. But if he's not fit, our choices are him or Goodman. Goodman here, they come up through the academy together, the same age, etc. Goodman's a little bit taller, but based on how he played against Brighton, I would go with Whitworth again. Again, that is throwing a kid, I'm telling you right now, back to back in just into the fight. Away matches, our biggest rival, and against the top team in the country is tough. But he played really well against Brighton. I mean, it's a tough. But if Guaita's fit, you definitely start Guaita. If he's not fit, we don't really have a choice. It's gonna be Whitworth. And I pray he gets a clean sheet. It will be so good for his confidence and the team's confidence.
100%. So let's quickly talk about Arsenal. They're playing in the Europa League as we're filming this, which should hopefully help us fatigue, because that's what we're looking at this point.
They got two injuries. They got two injuries so far.
Name them, please, T.
William Saliba left injured, and so did Takahiro Tomiyasu.
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
So I think Saliba was massive.
We need two more. Martinelli and
Saliba was massive.
I'm just being greedy. I'm not gonna lie.
Over under two more injuries.
I'm just trying to listen. I'm desperate,
give us a chance. Anyway, give us a chance. Look, they're top of the league. They're playing some good football. Even though they've had a few patches where they've looked a bit shaky, especially at home against the likes of Bournemouth, I think their defense hasn't been that great, but against Fulham, they've done a very good job. Do we? I mean, with Vieira's job on the line, and we've said it as well, I think we can all agree that we don't think he's lost his dressing room as of yet. I don't think he has, based on the players' attitude on the pitch, especially how they react to his tactics. Look, they were switched on for 90 minutes tactically, but the problem was going forward, really. That's what was my problem. But so going into this game, Arsenal, they are a dangerous side, but can we get something out of it? Isn't there a glimmer of hope based on Brighton? Because we had shots on target, we did create chances, and if Arsenal come attacking at us, don't you think maybe with 3 injuries here and there, something could happen?
I mean, I think we have a chance. Yeah.
I mean, for me, it's a massive ask to beat them. Get a point. Now we have drawn the last 3 matches against them: 2-2, 0-0, and 2-2 again last 3 times there. But they're a much improved side. Listen, I expect them to be this good, but they played some of the best football in the league. They knocked the ball around. They're attacking players in Saka and Trossard and Martinelli, and I didn't even mention Nketiah's injured and Jesus, who don't even contribute. It's been phenomenal this season. It's a big ask. Can we get a point? I mean, we got a point against United and Liverpool, so it's not impossible. It's a massive ask. I'm not even trying to be funny. Our best thing is 1, fatigue from today's match. 2, he decides to switch it up a little bit, because but they're going to do international break. Why would he rest players? And 3, just us getting very, very lucky, because I can't see us. Guys, we can't score goals. If we were scoring goals, I would say, maybe, but we're not scoring any goals, and I can't see us keeping a clean sheet against Arsenal. So for me, it's a massive ask. I hope we get a point, but I'm just, as the guy said, it's not looking good.
Yeah, it's not looking good. It's not looking good, bruv. But I'll say you one thing, and that is that yes, Arsenal are doing fantastic. But when your manager's job is on the line, if you really care about the manager, you're gonna have to put in 110% effort. And maybe that effort on the day could do well. So let's see what these players think of Vieira. It's all going to be down to them now. Forget about tactics. It's going to be attitude. It's not only just a manager. It's the future of this football club. I'm not saying losing against Arsenal is going to determine our season, but we need to start picking up points. And if you get a point against Arsenal going into the international break, that lifts the whole mood up. I don't care what anyone says. Even if you don't win, if you get a point, it lifts the whole mood up. And we go into international break with a glimmer of hope. But for me, Vieira has to change the approach. I said it. Going into the Brighton game, we should go more attacking. But now we have to go back to our old system. The reason why I'm saying that is, as I said, we're playing for a point, and let's keep it tight. Let's try to cause them issues defensively like we've done against Man City. And if we don't give away a penalty, you never know. I think that's our best chance of getting a result in this game. But for you, T, Vieira changed up in the Brighton game. Do you think he should stick with that approach, attacking, high pressing, or go back to how it was before the Brighton game?
That's a good question, because when he did change it up, we still only gave up 1 goal. We still were pretty resolute defensively. They still only had 1 shot on goal,
and we had
on target
as well.
You know what I'm saying? So if you think about it, we played more aggressively offensively, and we had a high press. We did give up 1 goal, but we didn't give up a ton of chances. So it kind of makes you wonder if, hey, do we change it up or do we not? Are we going to play for that point, or are we going to try to go win it? I don't know. I mean, I think either way, I think the thing that gives us the hope is the fact that we are doing very well defensively, regardless of which way we decide to go. I think the thing that gives us hope is the fact that, we've done really well defensively.
I want to add that I'm sitting here thinking, the more I think about it, we had the sort of Hamada against Arsenal. To me, he's the best replacement for Lokonga. I don't have a problem with Hughes or Naka play for Schlupp, but honestly, we need the energy. We need the legs in that midfield next to the core. We need it, man. I remember yesterday, a couple of times we were trying to high press. Lokonga was high up the pitch trying to press. Hughes can't do that. Luka can't do that. And Maka can't do that. Let the kid play against Arsenal. He played in France, man. He played in Germany. Sorry. I mean, give the kid his first opportunity.
And he carries the ball well too.
You know what I'm saying? We got to give the kid 90 minutes or whatever it is. Give him the start and see what happens, because we need legs. We got to press this team. Maybe get a turnover high up the pitch, and maybe hopefully Edouard will get a finish or Wolf will get a goal. But we can't just go out there and just sit back. And if you give these guys 8% possession, they're gonna pepper us, man. So
yeah. Basically, hoping for a miracle. I love Eddie,
Very
but
much so.
you're expecting Eddie
And they might have some
to score a
subs at the
goal.
back, man. They might have some second string guys at the back for them on Saturday.
You know what's
playing.
funny? Like we're just trying to like validate all the reasons why we could potentially get a point.
Of course.
Maybe there could
That's
be
what our
time.
job
Maybe
is.
That's what we do. That's what we do. Yeah.
But
I'm
yeah,
not
let us know
hope-
what you guys think.
We're hope dealers, D. We're hope dealers.
There you go. I like that
Let
phrase.
us know what you
Hope
guys
dealers.
think as
Giving
well.
hope.
How confident are you in a scale of 1 to 10 going into this Arsenal game? Let's quickly look at the league table as we always do in these previews. Pre-game week 28, Palace shock remain 12th. I mean, we've finally come to the end of these hard run of fixtures. If we do win, we should remain 12th. Barring goal difference, a draw could bring us down to 15th, and a loss could bring us down to 17th, which makes it ever so more important. I want us to keep up. Just for the bands, I just want us to keep 12th because I think that would be incredible.
100%.
I think that would be incredible. The fact that we kept 12th for the last how many
100%.
months?
Yeah.
What it feels
For 3
like.
months. Yeah.
But let's say we do drop down to 17th. Does that validate the reasons of sacking Vieira? Do you think the board will use that as a tool against him? Because look, you're only literally 1 point off the relegation zone. Does that make this game ever so more important to get at least something out of the game? Because I'll be honest, I've said it before and I'll say this time and time again. I'm surprised we're not 15th, 16th because I called it in the start of January when we was looking at these fixture lists that we was going to drop down. We should have dropped down. There's no way, even if we're playing good football, there's no way we're picking up that many points to keep us there. It's just too many tough teams. Simply too many tough teams. Of course, we haven't picked up a win, but we still remain 12th. So for you guys, is this game, when you look at the league table and where we will stand, do you think that makes it even more so important that we need to get something out of this game, Patrick?
I mean, again, if the owners are saying you need to get a win against, I'm gonna assume win, not a point, a win against Arsenal to keep your job, then he's
That's
gone
ridiculous.
because it's ridiculous.
Right
the
now.
whole thought of it is ridiculous. Exactly.
Hey,
let the man walk out now. So
I'm gonna go ahead and pack my bags. And,
I
get on
can't
out of
see it. Getting the point would be important, but again, even to me, again, just give him more time. But again, you know what? We can talk about this again. They haven't backed him, and blah blah blah. Again, the two matches that I'm gonna go look to is the Villa and the Brentford. If we gotten 3 more points, we're on 30 now, and no one talk about anything. We're well clear. But again, it's ifs and buts, right? But that's the life of a Palace fan. So I mean, to me, we'll see. I just don't. I just cannot think honestly. I know that Harris is here. I don't know if Blitz is here. I know Tex is probably around somewhere. Not having a meeting, whether in person or via Zoom, whatever. I can't see this being the match where you're going to decide his fate. If it is, just
Harris is
out
here.
of his misery.
Harris is here.
I just said Harris.
I said Harris. Yeah, exactly.
I didn't know if Blitz was here.
I'm
right.
going to land.
Right.
Yeah, I'm going to land. Harris is here, and normally Harris ain't here unless it's something important.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm pretty sure the last time he was here, was he
transfer?
Here?
No, beginning of the season.
Oh, when did Harris first? When did they actually officially join? That's what I'm trying to think about. When did they officially join? I'm thinking, was he here previously? There was one moment where they were here once again. Was it Frank? Am I right in saying Frank de Boer? Were they at the club during the Frank de Boer reign?
Hold on, let me look it up.
Because I remember Steve Parish was there at Burnley away. At Burnley away, and Harris, the owners were next to. There was someone else next to Steve Parish.
They would have been just here at that point. They couldn't have been there that long. I mean,
yeah, they were here.
You know what I
mean? They were
here. So exactly.
Yeah.
I remember Burnley away, right before Frank de Boer got sacked. They were here, and I think they were here for a home game as well. I can't remember. But look, long story short, they're rarely here. And if they're here, something serious is going on. Trust me, they're not here just to check in on that Palace. They're here to look at their assets because that means it's in danger. It's in real danger, and decisions need to be made. So look, we'll see what happens with his future. But I think it'll be ridiculous to expect to win against Arsenal. You might as well just sack him now, which I don't think is the case. But look, let's wrap this up. But before we do, quickly on players we're looking to perform, I think Wilf has to perform a bit better, especially if he's playing out wide. I don't think he was as involved as he was in the first half compared to the second half. If go ahead, Patrick, you're not happy?
You're gonna mention Arthur Edouard next, I'm guessing, right? As perform.
Anyways, Eze as well. He needs to perform as well.
Don't do it, D.
If he's playing,
the man has 3 goals all season. Please mention the striker has to do more. Don't just mention Wolf. Please don't do that to me. I beg.
But yeah, I think if Elise is fit, that'll be important as well. And yeah, look, it'll be important for Ahmad as well. But for you guys, where do you stand with the player situation? Who needs to perform in this game based on a Brighton performance? I'll start
Hodgson,
with you, T.
Edward.
I'll start with you, T. And after that, we'll just wrap up the show. Patrick is fine. You know, you said your piece already. It's fine.
Unbelievable. Seriously, I cannot believe it.
I gotta second that notion, man. Odson Edward, he's gotta perform, man. Like
He has to, but
he has
with him
to.
on the pitch, we did create more chances.
And
I don't think that's a coincidence.
D, I agree with you wholeheartedly because a lot more things happen for us in the forms of goal creation and goal chances when he's on the pitch. I think that goes without saying. But he has to prove something. And I'm not saying it, like not even just for the club. He got to do it for himself at this point, man. Like I know his confidence is probably really, really down right now. He needs to do this for himself first and foremost, man. Like the opportunities that he had, like that free header, man. Like those, like he's got to get something over the line, man. And I think I don't want to sound like this, but in a lot of ways, man, as he goes, we go. And if he picks up his level of play and starts,
we're scoring goals. We're different. We're a different side.
That's
what I'm
different.
saying. We're lacking goals, and we
need
different. We need him to step up. He's got. This is what I'm saying. Let's see what you're made out of. Yeah. These are pressure moments.
And then
Let's
other than that, Eze, I would say Eze too.
Eze, to be fair, you could talk about the fullbacks as well. Maybe Tyreek. I don't know. He's a lot back passes.
If I'm honest with you, man, like I said it yesterday during the match, man, Tyreek's passes just are terrible. Like I don't know what it is, man. I would love to see more from him. I don't know what it's gonna take, but yeah.
Look, let's move on to score predictions. Patrick, I'll start off with you. Arsenal away, manager's job on the line. Will these players step up? You said 1-0 Brighton, to be fair to you last time around. So what are you going for now?
So I can't comment on. Never mind. Arsenal 2, Palace 0.
Arsenal 2, Palace 0. That's the optimism we need. At least it ain't 3 or 4. That's it. Great. T, you?
Exactly.
Arsenal 2, Palace 1. I think Arsenal. I think Arsenal will start by scoring first. We'll level, and they'll get 1 to win it.
They'll break our hearts. Exactly.
I'm going 0-0. I'm going 0-0. If you perform as solid as we did defensively against City, if we just frustrate them, the key is, even with scoring the Brighton game, don't concede early. Let the game go on because these teams are playing to win. So as the game goes on, they're going to commit more. They're going to also have pass the test. Don't get me wrong. A few times now when they've been asked on scoring last-minute goals. But I'd rather take another gamble. Keep it tight. Play till the 90 minutes. Try to pick up a point. Focus on a clean sheet. Let's pick up a point and then go into the international break with a point and time to build on. Go ahead.
So the only thing is, I'll say only one side has kept a clean sheet. Awesome scoring all season. Can you take a guess who that's been all season? One club.
Palace away. You know to them in first game.
No, I said have not allowed Arsenal to score. I said this season.
Yeah. So I don't know who that is.
Everton. So I guess we could get changed. If they can do it, maybe we can. It was a good support.
That's the new manager bounce tax.
It was definitely the Dyche bounce.
That's why they want to get rid of Vieira now. Maybe that's it. They're looking for a new manager bounce. But
just saying.
The problem is, I don't think replacing Vieira with I don't know who. What will be Adrian Roberts against Arsenal would count as the new manager bounce. So I'll just say that. Unless we bring him one day. So I don't think the new manager bounce will apply to us in the first place anyways, because I don't think we'll have a new manager by the time we face Arsenal if we was to get rid of him beforehand. But look, if you guys have enjoyed the content, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. As always, you know the drill, and let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below. We will be back as we build up to this game with more content. Of course, the live match reaction will be after the Arsenal game. Hopefully, we're talking about a more positive result. Something to give us a bit more hope. I think the Brighton game, the first half did, but I want to see a 90-minute performance like that. A lot to ask for, especially against a side that's top of the league. But it's the end of the run. Hopefully, we survive that. And then we have a nice little break and come back energized and raring to go. Just survive this game, Palace. Come on. We're here. It's the end of the road. But look, that's it from me, Patrick, and T. And until next time, up the Palace.